Okay, welcome to the next episode of Monthly Calendars. You can see here that I got a new background, I guess, which is basically for my previous calendars right now. I'm not going to update this with backgrounds every calendar I do, because, that's going to take forever. But, okay, so now, let's go straight to the calendar, since if you know from last time, I announced what next month's theme is. So now, this month's theme is Monsters vs. Aliens. Now, I watched, remember in September when I said that Monsters vs. Aliens came to DVD? Well, I watched Monsters vs. Aliens, and I sort of liked it, and so I decided that it would be good for the next calendar that I'll do. So, in February. So I did that, and, February, I don't remember much of February this year, but I didn't remember much of January the year before, but yet I do remember the change of the decade, so, now that I think about it, so, yeah, I don't exactly remember, except that I was making this calendar, and, yeah, this was actually the idea. I wanted to make a calendar that could have been awesome, so I did. And so I stuck with that idea. Well, maybe. And so the color scheme, or whatever, well, you see there's blue. So there's blue, orange, and green. So basically, there's a blue background here, orange text, and green text. So that's basically what inspired the theme for this month. And let me get this straightened out again. So, yeah. Well, here, there's actually gradients, and that is actually something I was not quite familiar with, because I didn't know how to do gradients, but since it came with the template, I decided that I would use it anyway, because that was the idea. And so the fading tool came with the template, which is Axis. So I kept it, helped make it better, because, it just gave it a little bit more greatness, I guess. So I kept that, and, there's a little bit of fading here. Looks like it fades into the color here at the end. And then there's some hair, green to blue, and then, yeah. So, basically, this picture right here, I guess is a poster for it, and right here is a bunch of aliens invading, and here's the main character without Insectosaurus, which he's not there. And, yeah. Here is them all preparing to fight together. And so, yeah, that could be great, I guess. And then, here is them running through San Francisco, preparing to, well, there's Bob getting stomped on by the giant monster. So, I decided to add the pictures here like I did with Sonic Heroes in November. Oh man, I'm getting too close to... I'll just go back to these when I get done. So yeah, that's the color scheme and everything, and there's these blocks here. I still edited like that, with block by block, because well, that's the greatest at ordering. So yeah, now, as far as dates go, last month's theme, Toy Story. I actually added a picture this time to show what last month's theme was. So, yeah, I need to zoom in closer. So, chances are, I don't have a link to it right now, probably. I mean, I might, but yeah. If you click here, you might end up going to that calendar, but I might not put the link on when I make the video, so yeah. Remember, last month's theme is Toy Story, if you want to go look at that calendar. On the 1st, I don't know what happened. Then there was Groundhog Day. Now, you may be familiar with Groundhog Day. It's where the groundhog comes out of the ground and checks its shadow, and it gets all confusing because, you know, if it sees its shadow... I'm actually confused now. If it sees its shadow, what happens? Is it winter or is it not winter? Well, seems like if it sees its shadow, yeah. I'll come back to this next year. Debate that. I don't know. I'll have to look into it more. So there was nothing other than Groundhog Day for the first week. And then there's that giant insectosaurus that's probably causing you to scream, like that guy. And so the second week of February, there was that Sonic comic, which I was reading and everything, and also I put a last month's mistake because I was always jumping to conclusions on what would appear, when it would come out, because they didn't always preview it for it right away, so yeah. So these are probably incorrect too, because the release date always bounced around. Here is Lincoln's birthday. Now, Lincoln was this guy who was president of the United States. He started the Civil War, and some argue that it was an illegal war. I don't know. He probably had good intentions when he started it, but, you know, I mean, I guess states were allowed to leave the nation if they wanted to, and he didn't want them to because he wanted to keep the country together, which sounds like a good example for, it sounds like a good example for whatever it is. Good intentions, I guess. So yeah, wait a second. It's saying in page design that this is Star Wars Episode 5 calendar scheme, and I just spoiled the future calendar to you. So yeah, now you know one of the future themes, but it's not going to be for a very long while because, yeah, you're probably looking up there and going back and zooming in and going like, ooh, those are all the calendars you made. But those are not going to be for a very long time because this was when we had the old computer before I got this one. And the calendar broke down, and so I don't have any of the schemes on this computer. So, yeah, you found out all the future schemes when I get the new computer, probably. And so you're cheating and everything, probably. Well, not all of you, because some of you are like, I want to find out later. Like I do with Pixar. And I open up Skype, so I don't need to call somebody. Here's Valentine's Day. That's the day when somebody named Valentine's wrote to somebody, I guess, and he died, I guess, before. But it was like the day where he fell in love. We barely ever celebrate Valentine's Day in my family, because there's just nobody to celebrate it with, so, you know, we usually forget what's on that day, too. You know, none of us have ever been on a date with anybody except for our mom. So, yeah, I'm waiting for the perfect person, which so I haven't found anybody. Here is President's Day. Apparently it was a day you celebrate presidents, and so yeah, not much going on that day, I guess. Here is somebody's birthday, which I actually made it invisible, so yeah, sorry, I made it invisible so I could, there's still, yeah, I returned all this. Yeah, I'm sorry I made it invisible, but it's for personal information. It's not some famous person's birthday that everybody knows. And it was Ash Wednesday, which is like around 6 weeks before Easter. And so, I don't know what happened on that day that it gets its own holiday, like, you know, for biblical events. I don't know. oh, it's the beginning of Lent, which is, I don't know if Lent is actually biblical or not, but, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's something they celebrate anyway. I mean, I haven't celebrated it, but, you know, I don't think the Bible commands you to celebrate it. But, I don't know. Some people do fast on some days, but I don't know if there's any required fast days for Christianity. I don't think there is, so it's optional, and fasting is still supposedly good for people. I find it very hard. I eat a lot, and I'm hungry even after eating like a 32-ounce can of green beans and like 10 chicken patties and stuff like that. So yeah. And here's Washington's birthday. He was also a famous president who started the Revolutionary War because they sought freedom for Americans, which is also good, but I hear that Napoleon actually started the Revolutionary War because England needed money to fund the Revolutionary War, and so they decided to fund, so they needed money, they wanted to fund the Revolutionary War, the war against Napoleon, so they had to tax Americans for it. So, yeah. That is quite crazy, but I think it's true. I think I found it in some other source other than my sister. And here's the other Sonic comic, which probably was off and everything. Now here was Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, which I haven't owned yet, but it's like a Sonic game where they race. Yeah, they have a few of those, I think. So, if you like those, then you might check it out, or you might not. And then here. And then here's somebody else's birthday, but an unannounced person, so you don't know whose birthday it is, sorry. And then here's a picture on these dates. Here's a picture of Ginormica, who is also called Susan, and she's sitting on the gas station like she does in the movie. Here's a missing link, who is terrifying and cool. And he's near the Golden Gate Bridge, which I've been to like less than a year ago when I first got to LA. And so, yeah. He's a crazy character, I guess. Maybe. Not very attractive. Here's Bob, who I believe is voiced by the same person who does Mantis in Kung Fu Panda, and somebody else. Yeah. He's a voicer. His voice is familiar, so I think he's Seth Rogen or whatever. I think I don't know for sure, but I think he's also in Pacific Rim, which did not exist when this calendar came out, I don't think. And here is Dr. Cockroach, PhD. He is a cockroach who's intelligent, I guess. He turned himself into a cockroach. So you'll know him. And here's Insectosaurus, the giant monster of craziness. And then above him is Galaxar, who is the main bad guy, and is probably related to Megamind, who doesn't exist when this calendar came out, I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't. So yeah. And then next month's theme, you'll notice that there's a box here. Next month's theme is Ice Age. So yeah. There's my calendar, and I'm gonna have a hard time finding music for this, because I don't remember any memorial music from Monsters vs. Aliens, except for like some songs they play in the background, and then also sadly, the preview music that probably isn't in the movie, because a lot of preview music isn't in the movie, so It might take me a while to do that. And then this probably is a long calendar video, so I'm gonna have to find even more music, but I might replay some if I have to, so yeah. If you like this calendar, like it, that's good. Or if you dislike it, don't like it. Mark it off as dislike and say how much you hate it in the section below. So yeah. If that's what you do. But you know, you might try to be nice and everything. A lot of people probably try to be nice, and a lot of people try to be mean, and a lot of people are just honest and everything. So, you know, feel free to comment about it if you want to. So yeah, there's my February calendar. Thanks for watching.